We've got a double header today, episode 166 and 167 coming at you. Let's get this started. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In the last episode, the most common call booking objections you're gonna face, how to get through them or avoid them altogether. So if you're focused on filling your calendar with opportunities to serve brand new coaching clients through strategy calls, AKA sales calls, then be sure to backtrack one episode. That way you can understand what objections lie in front of you, how to overcome them, and also how to overcome the objections you're currently getting in the DM or in your email inbox when it comes to booking calls and getting new clients. In today's episode, I want to talk about what social media platforms are best for getting clients organically. The first thing that we need to talk about when it comes to getting clients organically and what social media platform is the best is that the answer in large is that it kind of depends. And it really revolves around and pivots around and depends on these three things. The first thing is your personality. How do you show the best parts of your character? How do the best parts of your character show through of saying the same thing, but saying it completely differently? And so I think it's worth noting and taking into account who you are becoming, and what best ways that you can showcase that when it comes to social media. If you have a face for radio like me, then maybe you stick with podcast. If you are amazing on camera and charismatic and all those things, let's talk video. Let's find a platform that's more video oriented. Maybe you can write for hours without losing energy, without losing focus, and it's something that gives you a lot of energy. Maybe we find something that's a bit more text-based. So the first thing is personality. Second is your strengths, kind of building off of that. If you love writing or want to get good at writing, let's look at a platform that's more text-based. If you are really good at speaking or you want to practice that, maybe that's one of your goals, find something that's a bit more audio. If you are good on camera or you're already doing a lot of things that are recorded, that are on film, or that can easily be captured via video, then maybe you start looking at a platform that's a bit more video based. So first, personality. Second is strengths. And third, it's about consistency. What platform can you stay glued to? Can you focus on? Can you build? What platform are you most interested? What platform has the kind of people that you're interested in being around, in being the leader of, and in being a part of those communities? Personality, strengths, and consistency are the things I really want for you to be thinking about as we go through the following 6 platforms. It also must be noted there are more than 6 platforms. And if you're watching this in 2024, 25, and 26, there's going to be even more platforms than what we're talking about today. These are just the core ones, and I kept adding another one to it and another one to it and thinking, oh crap, now we have a longer episode, so let's hop in and let's just talk about each of these. The first one is Instagram. Instagram is amazing. Instagram is an amazing platform for getting clients. And while it is probably the one that the majority of you and of us are already on, it's also the platform that can add some complexity because there are ways to do video. There is text that is necessary. And so it's really combining multiple things. So it's photo, it's video, it is captions, it is live updating and staying consistent on it that makes Instagram really, really work. What's cool is that you can kind of plug and play with different things. And because Instagram is much like the next platform we're going to talk about, Facebook, because they're owned by the same company, there's a lot of overlap that you can get, but each of these has different things that the other doesn't offer. Instagram, when it first started, and when it first started gaining popularity in 2012, 2013, 2014, was a lot easier to grow on. And it is far harder these days. You have to really have some sort of visual or aesthetic advantage into what you are creating or in who you are and what you're showcasing. And if you can find a way to tell that story visually, Instagram is going to be a platform that you can grow on. You have photo posts, you have video posts and the combination thereof with carousels. You also have live video, you have stories, you have this new notes function, and you have all of these different things, including reels and videos, and there's some overlap and some gray area in between those things. So while Instagram can be powerful, it can also be a lot to take on. However, do know that your clients and that your dream clients are on Instagram. And so this is worth really thinking hard on if it should be your main platform or one that you syndicate everything to. Second is Facebook. Facebook is also one of these platforms where your clients are absolutely on it. You might right now feel like you are aiming towards a younger base and they are not on Facebook. Believe it to me, they are on Facebook. Much like Instagram, it's really taking everything and making it into one community place. You have story, just like Instagram. You have photo and video and reels, just like Instagram. You have live videos, just like Instagram. But one of the things that sets Facebook apart from Instagram is the group functionality, which might eventually be added into Instagram, which is kind of what it's also showing or showcasing, or they might be integrated. Facebook groups might become one way Facebook could take this is groups could become something that's shared through Instagram and Facebook, or Instagram could end up launching its own group thing or turning broadcast channels into groups. If you're familiar with that new function that we didn't even talk about in Instagram, there's just so much always being added. If you are on Instagram, it makes it really easy for Facebook to be your number two. Or if you are on Facebook, it makes it really easy for Instagram to be the thing that you syndicate to, or vice versa, if I said that wrong at all. And so Facebook is like one of these platforms that's a catch-all. It has everybody on it. Does everyone use it with the intent of purchasing? Not necessarily. But when I survey my friends and when I listen to people in my life from a variety of different demographics, I often find that things that they are buying or being influenced by are ads that are being served on Facebook and or on Instagram, and they're buying these things and they're buying them very quickly. They might be little knickknacks from a shop, or they might be things that are a bit more expensive and a bit higher ticket. Your prospects are on Facebook, and if Facebook groups becomes the place that you want to grow your community, and I think that's wise, and it becomes a place where you want to host your coaching program, which I think that's wise, then it might be worth using Facebook first. Now, you might be listening to this in audio podcasts on a variety of different podcast player options. However, I want my audio to also be a part of my overall content marketing strategy. So in the creation of this right now, I am recording this on my computer while simultaneously going live on my Facebook profile, personal, on my Facebook business page, on my Facebook group, on YouTube, LinkedIn, and on X. And I'm doing that in an effort for my show up daily mindset and mantra that you guys always hear me talk about, but in also because it's going to be audio, it's a way for my show to get even more exposure and for all of the views everywhere to add up into the exposure that my show is getting. And so you can totally do a podcast, but also have a live function that's going across all platforms. It takes zero additional effort for me to do that. Note that. However, when I turn these into micro clips, it does take additional effort to put them on Instagram, a little tiny 1% more on Facebook. It's just a little check mark, but to go and do it on TikTok and LinkedIn and YouTube and all the reels and shorts and all these other places, that does take a lot of additional energy and a lot of additional time. It needs to be said. First was Instagram, second, Facebook. Third, let's talk about TikTok. TikTok is one of these places where even though it is harder to grow than the last 36 months, you can still grow way faster if you double down and really hunker down on TikTok. And if you went for 6, 9, 12 months on TikTok, being native to the platform, using the platform the way it was designed to be made, building a community, responding on other people's videos, and fostering the kind of content that calls for comments on your videos. You could be showing up every single day making 1, 2, or 3 pieces of content and have one of those in the next 90 days that gets a lot of notoriety and that gets a lot of comments and engagement. And you can use that one video and those comments and that engagement to build a ravenous fan base and to have a ton of content off of that one kind of video, off that one video that you posted, to then create a bunch of other ones using the features like replying to comments through video. And this is a great way to stay in people's For You page and to be a part of their feed when they're opening their TikTok, they're getting notifications that you responded to them and that you have new videos and to follow you and to do all of these things. However, for many of you, that's not your unique advantage. You are not already in the habit of getting your phone out and recording video. You might feel weird and feel awkward. And if you have to overcome those things, I dare say TikTok is not even one to consider using for business purposes. If you want to do and foster a skill set, then sure, but that's just going to be another layer on top of what you have to be doing in creating conversations from social media. TikTok is great, but you really have to find that your personality is meant for it. Maybe you're already doing video or you're really desiring to do it, but if you were desiring to do it, you would have done it already, making these other platforms potentially easier or a bit easier for you to be more consistent on. Fourth is X. There are a lot of coaches right now who are doubling down on X and getting a lot of leads and a lot of opportunities. However, X, formerly known as Twitter, is one of these platforms where you kind of have to have, what I've noticed is this angle of your personality and this very specific type of person that can really grow and foster Twitter and X. And so you can figure it out or you can learn it. It's almost like the platform Reddit. Redditors or people who use Reddit are like really good at it and they foster community and part of their social life is built on it. X is also one of those things where if you want for it to be bringing you leads and starting new conversations organically and being a part of your social media strategy, it's one that you got to be on throughout your day quite often and be leveraging a lot. It's also great because it's not 160 characters per post anymore. You can also do long form posts. And if you pay for the premium function, which is now almost a universal aspect of most of these platforms, if you pay for their verified check mark and process, I'm pretty sure it gets you longer posts on there and more visibility. And so if you're really good at writing and have a lot to say and a lot of original angles and you have this brain that you can't quiet down with these funny thoughts that maybe a friend or two or a family member always points out as something that's interesting about you or quirky about you, X could be a really good platform. Fifth, YouTube. YouTube is an amazing platform when you think about long-term advantages. Not unlike TikTok, you can't just post something and you're going to get a lot of views. But if you post consistently over a long period of time, YouTube is less viral hit like TikTok, and it's more like Monopoly, where when you purchase property and you put homes and hotels on it, that thing's going to pay you in perpetuity. When you create a really good video that has a good hook, that delivers on the promise of the thumbnail, that has a really good thumbnail, that is optimized and keyworded, and you say certain things in the video, there's a whole art to YouTube. YouTube can be one of those things that provides a lot of search engine juice, that brings people to your website, that points people to the other social platforms that you have, and that can be a place where you post a video that slowly gets views, but 4 or 5 years you look back and it now has thousands of views because what you talked about in the video is still relevant and all of those things were optimized. It can be one of these platforms that you get really easily lost in. And while YouTube is great and it's a platform that many of you should be focused on, it is really hard to get results from and to also drive conversations from. And so you need a platform that's really easy for you to generate conversations from. And if you can figure it out on YouTube, cool. Just for the most of you, it's going to take far too long and you're going to need clients and revenue flowing in far sooner. And if you go the agency route of paying someone to do it, it's just going to cost you an arm and a leg. So while YouTube is good, I think that it should be a far third, fourth, or fifth platform that you're even thinking about. Lastly, thing number 6, if you've got value, an insight, a tip, some inspiration at this point of the show, then take a screenshot wherever you're getting the show, post it to your story, tag me at WhatUpJeremy. I'd love to return the favor and put you in front of my audience as this show grows organically and without ads. Lastly, platform number 6, and there are way more, of course, is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of these platforms that can get you a lot of conversations and a lot of connections and exposure to a lot of different communities and people, but it's one that you have to master. LinkedIn is amazing for those of us here because we're business owners. We're kind of like business centric and business focused. And so LinkedIn can be one of these places where if you do learn how to use it and how to find the right connections and to send them the right message and to be posting and interacting on other people's content, this could become home base for a lot of you guys. And I think LinkedIn is far underrated and overlooked when it comes to picking a platform because Instagram is a lot more cool and posh and Facebook is a lot more mainstream and accepted. And LinkedIn is just not as cool as these other ones. But, LinkedIn can become cool if you make it cool and if you figure out your own unique way of using it. In totality, all in all, the platform that's the best for getting the social media platform that's best for getting clients organically is the one that you can stay focused on and the one that you can stay consistent on. And wherever you make your home, that is where home is. And so what I really implore for you to do from this episode, if nothing else, is to double, triple, quadruple down on the platform that's working best or pick a platform and make that one work best by focusing in on it, by optimizing and by utilizing even more aspects and functions of it. And in doing this, what you will find is that you will get more leads, more conversations, you'll feel more comfortable. And then a year, 2 or 3 down the road, when you add in a new platform, you can use whatever platform was your focus on for the 3 years before to send traffic, to send people, and to send eyeballs and attention to all these other places and to your offers and to your website and to anywhere else you want to send them. In the next episode of Client by Client, let's talk about why most online coaches fail. All right, no call to action there. I'm just gonna save it for this last one since we're doing a double header here today. We're gonna hop into 167 here in a second. If you have any questions, have anything that I can help you out with when it comes to getting clients, when it comes to organic marketing, when it comes to growing your online business, your mindset, those sorts of things, feel free to drop them at any point in time in this or any past or upcoming episodes. I'd love to answer them on a future episode and specifically kind of even coach you on this show and give you the answers that you might be looking for and some information and help on getting clients, on growing your business and hitting those milestones. Today's energy drink of choice, Gorilla Mind. This is black cherry vanilla, amazing. This is by it's a big YouTube channel in the fitness space, Derek, More Plates, More Dates. This started out as like a pre-workout, which I haven't tried yet. He has premium proteins, all those sort of things, but these energy drinks are amazing. They're in Vitamin Shop now, and they were $1 this last weekend, so grabbed a handful of them. Okay, episode 167, let's do this. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In the last episode, what social media platform is best for getting clients? If you've been wondering about what platform to focus in on, if you have been trying to pick what platform, if you've been wondering if the platform you're on is really the one to work for you, or maybe your results have kind of been sporadic, be sure to backtrack one episode to 166. That way you can hear kind of my point of view on what platform is best, which one to consider, and how to go about picking the one that you're going to double down on over the next 18, 24, 36 months in your online business. In today's episode, I want to talk about why most online coaches fail or are currently failing. That way, when you become aware of these things, you can avoid them. You can ask better, deeper questions to get you help on these aspects, or you can completely overcome them by asking for help, getting around the right people, getting the right support, and really creating an online business that is getting leads every single day and creating brand new clients at least every single week. The first reason why most online coaches fail or are failing comes down to consistency and really not having it or having poor consistency. And so you might post a thing or two early in the week, but then you kind of die out and you let other things in your life really take your focus, or you focus on things that are not going to be generating conversations and not going to be driving strangers from the internet into becoming familiar with you, into asking you for help, into asking for your help on a call and joining your coaching program, which is everything we talk about on this show. No hard selling, none of those things. It's about getting people to pull you and to close you. But you can't have that ever happen if your consistency isn't there. And so if you are one of these people who is finding yourself lacking the kind of consistency, then I think this all starts out with how you start your day. And the first thing that you should do if money and business is your priority, or it needs to be, is start your day out with business and start your day out with money-making tasks. In past episodes, we talked about money-making tasks and what those things are, including the daily checklist for getting clients organically. So backtrack to those episodes and find those, consume those, get yourself reacquainted with those. That way you can get back on the track of consistency and of generating conversations, of leads, and of sales. But without consistency, without you showing up every single day, making it easy for you to show up every single day, gamifying your life so that you want to show up every day and you're rewarded for showing up every day, growing your online business is not only hard, it stays hard. So the first thing that you need to dial in and really get good at is consistency. You can get consistent at things that don't matter, and then you won't have the results that you're wanting. You're consistent, sure. So it needs to be said that you have to dial in on and focus on and aim your consistency at things that are going to drive conversations and turn them into sales. You might be working too much on your content. You might be really trying to perfect your offer. You might be trying to do all these things with your branding and your logo, none of which are going to get you money today. And even if I just tell you, focus on what's going to get you money today, that at least narrows you down and gets you thinking in the right wheelhouse, even if I didn't tell you anything else in this episode. Thing number one that's causing most coaches to fail is poor consistency. Second, and this can come from poor consistency or it can come from a lack of business acumen, is you don't have enough leads. And if you're not doing the right things on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, it gets really, really hard to generate conversations and to turn those conversations into leads. One of the things that's going to help you get more focused on leads if you don't have enough of them is simply tracking them and having a CRM. And so at the end of today's episode, I'll tell you about a free CRM that I've created for you if you don't have it already. But even a spreadsheet, a note, a Post-it note, something physical on, with Post-its on a wall or a whiteboard is going to get you way more closer to money than you are right now if you have nothing tracking that. Thank you. Oftentimes, we also just don't know what quantifies a lead as a lead. And so that's worth defining in your online business. Is that a brand new follower to your Instagram? Is that someone who subscribes to your YouTube channel? Is that someone who joins your group or signs up for your email list? Or is it someone who fills out an application? None of those answers are right or wrong. It just really depends upon what does that mean to you and in your business. And when you define that, you get far more clear on what to do with those people. And then you can start to figure out where you need to drive them in order to turn them into a paying client. In episode 158, we talk about the difference between followers, subscribers, and leads. So backtrack to episode 158, just a couple weeks back. That way you can figure out which one of these quantifies and qualifies for being in your pipeline and which ones you got to follow up on like an absolute gangster the right way and get them to ask you for help so you can turn them into a paying client. The second reason why most coaches fail is you don't have enough leads. Reason number 3 why most online coaches fail is your offer is lame, or as we've called in previous episodes, it's beige. It just lacks a level of excitement, of enthusiasm, and most humans are inclined to just become hypey or louder in an effort to overcome or to mask the lameness or beigeness of their offer. And I promise you that when you get grounded and present with what the real 2 or 3 problems are that your dream clients have, not the beginner newbie clients, the dream clients, when you get grounded and present there and you focus your offer in on those things, and then you build in what it takes to be a 5-star offer, like we've talked about in so many previous episodes. Just look up any in our show list that have offer in it. Price is just one part of it. You also got to think about bonuses, your guarantee, your promise, how you're reversing risk. And when you get all these elements dialed in and you create an offer that's holistic and that identifies each of these things, now you just have to get that in front of the right people and know how to talk about it. And so if your offer is lame right now, yelling more, posting more, becoming hypey, copying what others are doing is not going to make your offer any better. And when you dial in the 5 aspects of what make an offer really good and that make it absolutely juicy, like commandment number 1, make juicy offers, you're going to find more people are going to be far more interested in talking with you and booking a call with you and far more open to your help. Lastly, number 4, it comes down to sales and just straight up being awkward when it comes to sales. This might mean that you are coming off as salesy/sleazy, which is nothing that we preach or promote or condone in my world and in this client by client show. Because the opposite of being awkward and salesy and kind of sleazy, so to say, and really hypey in your marketing and in your messaging is really about getting your prospects to close you. It's about picturing that there is a tug of war going on between you and your prospect, but on your side, you don't do any of the walking towards your prospect. You stay in one place, grounded and centered, almost like your feet are nailed to the ground, and your prospect takes a step towards you, and some slack builds, and you just tighten up the slack by pulling the rope slightly towards you. But what is really happening is your prospect is coming towards you, asking you questions, asking and considering you for help, and then even saying things like, can you help me? Or what's the next step? Or even how much does it cost? Which is not something you should answer directly. We talked about that in 2 episodes back in episode 165, the most common call booking objections. When you know how to handle these things and how to talk about your offer and talk about your help, and you keep yourself as the prize, and you keep yourself as the goal of your prospects, This creates a whole different kind of energy dynamic where your prospects are far more inclined to want to work with you. They get excited about booking the call and even showing up. They show up early. They show up on time. They show up in their best energy. They've gone to a coffee shop or a quiet environment away from home because this is important to them. And when they start treating you like that, think about how much easier that is for you to get clients, where you just hop on, you figure out what the problems are and what the future looks like, anything that's holding them back. You create a way for them to ask questions. You create a path for them that allows for you to unpack the 5 parts of your offer and to only share parts of your offer that would really impact them, change their game, change their life, change their business, their relationships, their health, whatever it is that you coach them on. And when you do that, they're going to have no reason to not sign up with you. And that's what it's really about. It's not having an argument or creating an argument. It's them building a case for why right now is the time and why they shouldn't wait. And most coaches just don't get this. And so even if you get the consistency dialed in and you get enough leads and you create the right offer, when you learn how to talk about it and when you learn how to come from the right energy, that's where the rubber hits the road. In the next episode of Client by Client, I want to take you from coach to CEO and talk about this magical shift. Whenever you are ready, here are 3 ways I can help you get clients consistently. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, your LinkedIn mail, or your email inbox, where you're losing leads in the cracks and leaving a lot of money and clients on the table every single week and month? That's why I created GetBookedCRM. What started out as a free and simple way for me to manage my leads and pipeline has quickly become a favorite tool of my private students and many members in the Leverage Coach community. Get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. To download your free copy now, just find me on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy and send me the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got experts, authors, consultants, and business owners from all over the world, all implementing my methods and strategies for getting clients consistently, for starting and growing an online business. In my group, in the Leverage Coach community, all ships rise in a high tide. So join us now by finding me on Instagram and sending me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. Every month, I get a couple coaches together to implement my methods and frameworks for injecting a minimum of $15K worth of new clients to start or doubling your existing client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But working with the right people is super important to me. So this is only for you if you are a relationship-focused business owner who always puts the clients ahead of the money. You've been working with clients or growing your online business for at least 6 months to a year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients minimum organically every week or month from social media without wasting money and time on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social platform, email list, or Facebook group. You are willing to take bold, inspired action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. That's who I want you to grab your phone right now, give that Instagram app a tap, do a search, find me at WhatUpJeremy if we're not connected already. Give me a follow, binge on some reels while you're there, and then message me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business and about your vision for the next 12 months. That way I can understand what your goals are. Then we'll talk about recent success stories and my proven track record for helping coaches get clients consistently. And we'll also identify what part of the program and my help will likely make the biggest impact on your business and life the soonest. That way you know what to expect. For all the details now, just find me over on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy and send me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next one. Cheers. All right, team. Thank you so much for being here for today's doubleheader. I guess reason for that, maybe that some explaining is offered there. Heading out tomorrow. Well, many of you guys know, and I appreciate you guys' kind messages and words. I had one of my favorite aunts in the world passed away a little over a week or 2 ago. And so we're having services for her. And so getting together with family and just remembering her and honoring her. And so I'll be out of town for a couple of days. So I just want to get a little bit ahead of this. We'll probably do another doubleheader Thursday and or Friday. We'll see how it goes. If you're catching this on LinkedIn, share this with your connections if you found it valuable. Facebook Watch, give this a reaction. Drop your insight below, whatever stood out to you most. If you're on YouTube, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You can find latest episodes here along with the more episodes and all of them from the show here. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. See you back probably Thursday. Hope all is well. Drop me a comment. Let me know how things are on your side. Peace out.